What is up, YouTube? Just kidding. Welcome back. This is our bonus episode. This is me doing the Capital One Bowl Mania challenge on ESPN. I love bowl season. Growing up, this was like the Christmas. Obviously, it is the holiday season, but for a college football fan, back in the day, bowl season was like an extra Christmas. Um, We did our college football official bracket that we submitted last night on the pod, the most recent episode. So if you want to see that with Josh's picks in it, um, go check that out. It starts from like the halfway point and goes to the end. So that's where you'll find our bracket. Josh is not here. This will just be me picking the bowl games, and then the college football playoffs that are in this bowl challenge. We'll use our picks that I made with Josh. So without further ado, Cricket Celebration Bowl. I'm pretty sure this is the HBCU bowl game. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is what this is for. Um, so give me Prairie View. Why? Because I've seen them play in person. And they're from Texas. I watched this team play A&M my freshman year whenever I was down at A&M. And so for that reason, I'm going with Prairie View. I don't care if they're the underdog. LA Bowl. Washington, Boise State. I'm going Washington. I think they have more talent, even though Boise State did have a pretty strong finish to the year, winning the Mountain West. I just feel like Washington with Damon Williams and Boston, um, they've just got the better outlook for the game. And so for that reason, I'm going Washington because I want to get as many picks as I can right. It's a lot harder. I don't know if it's a lot harder than March. Okay. Let me get my thoughts in a row before I start sharing. It is, or it's not a lot harder than March Madness because there's more games, it's more volatile. But I just think in some of these bowl games, when you have two 6-6 teams, it's kind of more of a toss up than like a 6v11 or whatever, or a 9v8. Sometimes with the brackets, it's like in March Madness, it's kind of obvious. I don't know why I'm rambling about March Madness. Salute to Veterans Bowl, Troy, Jacksonville State. I watched Troy lose their quarterback in the Sun Belt Championship. And so I'm going to go with Jacksonville State. I don't know who Jacksonville State's got or how good they are. Both these teams are 8-5. I feel like they're playing similar level of competition. So yeah, let me go Jacksonville State here. Cure Bowl. This is Old Dominion versus South Florida. If you watch the channel, you know who we're going. We're going with South Florida. We love South Florida. I'm not going to go into why, but just know we love them. Even without Alex Golish, they still have Byron Brown, or they should. Um, and just an overall, I feel like more talented roster. They play in the tougher conference. ODU did have a good season. Their quarterback's very talented. Um, I'm just curious to see if he gets poached by a bigger level school. So let me go with South Florida. In the 68 Ventures Bowl, this is the meme bowl. Everybody's like, "Oh, Bama's going to the 68 Ventures Bowl if they miss the playoffs." You Louisiana Lafayette versus Delaware. Give me Delaware. It's Delaware's first year in the FBS, if I'm not mistaken. And here they are in a bowl game. I mean, they play similar competition. They're in like similar. I think one of them is in the CUSA and the other one's in the Sun Belt. Um, so I don't see why Louisiana Lafayette's an 81% favorite. So give me Delaware. Let me take an upset. The Myrtle Beach Bowl. You got Kennesaw State versus Western Michigan. I love the dude on TikTok when they're doing the college football playoff ranking reveal. He's like the Western Michigan fan. He's like, "Where are my Broncos? Oh my gosh, they put us at one!" And then they like reveal number one team. He freaks out. Um, in previous takes to be doing this, I actually took Kansas State, but why have I been? Give me Western Michigan. My thought process behind Kansas State is they're 10-3. It's not bad. Obviously, it's not bad. Um, it's pretty good for Kansas State. I believe this is their second year in FBS. So I don't know, but for that one guy on TikTok, I'm going Western Michigan. Um, we got the Gasparilla Bowl between Memphis and NC State. I'm going to go with NC State. Ryan Silverfield has been hired at Arkansas. I don't know if he's coaching in this game, but even if he is, his mind is in two different places. And then CJ Bailey for NC State has looked pretty solid throughout the season, and then especially here as of late, he's been coming on pretty strong. And so I think get some momentum from the season, play well in the ball game, carry that into next year, whether that's with NC State or if a bigger team takes a chance on him. Um, I'll be curious to see that, but give me NC State. Okay, for the first round of the college football playoff, we've already done this. So me and Josh took Bama over Oklahoma. We took Texas A&M over Miami. We did take Tulane over Ole Miss, and then we took Oregon over JMU. I'm not going to dive into it. If you want to know our reasoning and want to see our whole bracket and the process of us filling that out, go check out the podcast. So next we have the famous Idaho Potato Bowl, and this is between Washington State and Utah State. I'm going to go with Washington State. I think they just have a better talent, uh, more talented roster than Utah State does. I don't know anything really about either of these teams. Washington State played somebody that, like we were talking about recently, that's like the only knowledge I've known. Their head coach took another job. So yeah, still give me Washington State. I don't have a whole lot to say. Boca Raton Ball. What's that song? I'm not in Boca Raton. Yeah, I forget who that's by. Yeah, Toledo taking on Louisville. Jason Candle is a very good head coach. He has been hired by someone else, I believe. So he won't. He could be coaching in this game, but like I said, with Ryan Silverfield, his mind might be in two different places. So I'm going to go with Louisville. Jeff Brom's a very good coach. I think they're one of the better ACC teams if they could just get their crap together. Um, but Miller Moss, all those guys, they have a Bama transfer. I forget his name, Corey Brooks, maybe. I could be wrong, but they have a Bama wide receiver transfer. So I always root for those guys. So give me Louisville and the Nollins Ball, as I have said. Western Kentucky, Southern Miss. I do want to be picking upsets because that's how brackets or whatever, not brackets, but like pick'ems and stuff like this go. There will be upsets. 8-4 Western Kentucky, 7-5 Southern Miss. It's in Louisiana, so that's closer to Mississippi than it is Kentucky. Don't know if it even matters. I don't even know where they're playing at in New Orleans, if it's at the Superdome or not. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Give me Southern Miss. Shout out Brett Favre. Not really. I'm sure they actually hate him over there at Southern Miss because he got him in some trouble. But next bowl, the Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl. Now, I actually have been to a Frisco Bowl before. It's been many years, and I've forgotten who played. I've been to the Frisco Bowl. I've been to um, the Independence Bowl twice in Shreveport. I've been to the Rose Bowl. I've been to the 2017 National Championship, second and 26 overtime. Bama wins. I was there. I've been to that. And I've been to a few others that are slipping my mind right now. So, um, anyways, we have UNLV in Ohio. UNLV was in the Mountain West Championship. They did end up losing. Ohio is usually it was supposed to be one of the better MAC teams this year, and they ended up going 8-4. And I don't even know who won the MAC, but I'm going to go with UNLV. I don't think it's close. Dan Mullen is the coach out there, and they have Anthony Colandrea or whatever. Virginia transfer. I only know that because I did a dynasty with them in college football. So yeah, give me UNLV. The Hawaii Bowl. This right here, this one is a dilemma for me. I've been looking at this and I was thinking to myself, I don't know who I want to go. Hawaii is at home. I think that does matter because it'll be at Hawaii Stadium. So they'll have the fans. The time zone, even though it's only Hawaii to California, it still is a significant difference. Um, so that's my case for Hawaii. Jaron Kiawe Sagapotele, I think that's his name, the quarterback. He is So good. I love him. I actually, here's another college football thing that ties me to Cal. Um, Actually doesn't tie me to Cal. It ties me to their quarterback. I did a Purdue dynasty and I got Sago Patele to transfer to Purdue, and he was my starter. He was my starter for 4 years, and so I love that dude. And I'm happy to see he's only a freshman. I'm happy to see that he actually is performing on the field in real life. So give me Cal. I got to do it. I really want to go Hawaii, and I feel like I wouldn't be shocked if Hawaii wins, but I got to shout out for my boy, and also shout out to Jared Goff. Um, the game above Sports Bowl. Here we go. Central Michigan versus Northwestern. Let's not think too hard about it. Let's go with Northwestern. Preston Stone did have a pretty bad year, and it's pretty crazy the fall from grace Preston Stone has had because at one point he was being touted as one of the better, potential like shock quarterbacks in the country, and it just really hasn't worked out for him. He didn't have a very efficient, he had 14 touchdowns, 12 picks, um, 2,100 yards. So, it's not like that bad. Obviously, you don't love 14 to 12 as my computer is being very slow. So I guess I'm pretty sure I want to say he played at SMU. Yeah, he's been at SMU his entire career. He was supposed to be very good at SMU and just he never really panned out. So, but yeah, here I have him winning the game above Sports Bowl. So shout out Preston Stone. Here is the Rate Bowl. Nothing more, nothing less. No sponsor, only rates. New Mexico taking on Minnesota. I just did a Minnesota college football dynasty, so I'm going with Minnesota. Don't have any other reason besides that. I like Drake Lindsay. Bit of a what do you call it? Statue in the pocket. He doesn't have a whole lot of mobility, but I love Minnesota. I love their branding. I love the Golden Gophers. I love PJ Fleck, his whole vibe, the way he dresses, the intensity that he brings. I love it, and I want Minnesota to be good. I just don't think I think they're in a bad spot in the Big Ten to where they'll be like at best 9-3. Um, because like who's going to Minnesota over Michigan or Ohio State? I'll say no. I'm gonna do it right now. Sharon Moore has been fired. Um, Everything about it is wild. I'm sure that you have seen stuff about it. Um, he was having inappropriate relations with a staff member. I'm not gonna dox the girl. You can find who it is, but I'm not gonna, you know, even comment on her side of the story because obviously, um, she's the victim here or whatever. Sharon Moore, he carried out these actions on his own. He knew what he was doing, most likely. And he was the head football coach at Michigan. So he knows there's consequences. So I'm not going to shed any light on the girl. And obviously, from what has been swirling around, allegedly, she's been knocked up. So yeah, just, my thoughts go out to the girl and her family. Sucks for the University of Michigan and all the players and the recruits that just signed thinking they'd be playing for Sharon Moore. If you're Sharon Moore, dude, what are you doing? He got arrested after he had been fired, and allegedly he had went to somebody's, either his wife's or whoever leaked this information. He was at their house threatening to kill himself and allegedly holding someone like at knife point. So yeah, just not a good scene. Really, how you screw up your career right there. I get it. You react emotionally. I do it all the time. I do things that I was like, you know what, if I would just sit there, settle down, and react differently, would have been a whole lot better for me. But um, you just can't do something like this, man. Because if you don't get arrested and do the things you do, maybe a couple years, 2, 3 years, maybe 4 or 5, you're probably coaching somewhere again. But now it's made it really hard to hire you anywhere. So I'm hearing Kalen DeBoer in Michigan. I would be shocked. Look, I'm going to be completely honest with y'all. As a Bama fan, if he were to leave for Michigan, I don't even care. Obviously, I think he's a good coach, and I like him at University of Alabama. I don't know if his personality or his vibe really fits with Bama, like what Bama has been and like the SEC as a whole. But that's not a reason just to get rid of a head coach who's, taking you to the SEC championship, taking you to the playoffs, has proved he's a winner. So I don't think you fire him just because like the vibes aren't right or whatever. But if he were to get hired, I'm not going to sit here. Obviously, I'd be upset because he's had some time to kind of like mold this team into what he wants. But um, I wouldn't be like devastated if he took the UM job just to kind of get somebody else. I don't know who he'd bring in, but at this point, I don't know. I don't know. Kalen DeBoer experience it's been wild. So yeah, there's the Sharon Moore thing. I know it's in the middle of his pick'em, but yeah. Um, First Responder Bowl, I've got Florida International. I don't have it. They have Florida International versus UTSA. I'm going with UTSA just because they're favored. I don't really know anything about. Shout out Pitbull. You know what? I'm going FIU for Pitbull because I love Pitbull. Um, don't know if that's a controversial take or not. Yeah, go bowling military bowl. No military to be found here. You got Pitt versus ECU. Pitt had a good season, really. Um, so I'm going to go with Pitt. I thought this would be more entertaining. I'm sorry, y'all. The Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl. That's a new one. You got Penn State. You got Clemson. I hate Clemson, so I'm going Penn State. Who I think will probably win? Clemson. Clemson's got the better team. I mean, K. Klubnik still exists. He didn't have a very good season, but I still think he's this decent quarterback. He'll probably be playing somewhere in the NFL at some point. What's Penn State's? It's Grunkemeyer, right? They're showing Aller. It'll be too much. I'm pretty sure the quarterback's name is Grunkemeyer. He didn't have stats that surpassed Drew Aller's, so doesn't bode well. Just because I hate Clemson, though, I'm going Penn State. This will be at Fenway Park or Yankee Stadium. It's in a baseball stadium, one of those two. The Wasabi Fenway Bowl. Okay, so the Pinstripe Bowl is at Yankee Stadium. The Fenway Bowl is at Fenway in Boston. Give me UConn. UConn had a good season, really 9-3. It's pretty solid. I don't know who they played. They're an independent, so I'm pretty sure they can play whoever they want. But Army 6-5. I don't get excited about the military schools really, unless your name is Navy, because Navy's always dope, bro. And I love their head coach, dude. He looks like such a dog. So yeah, give me UConn. Not much more to say. Pop Tarts Bowl, Notre Dame. I'm going to treat Georgia Tech as if you were Notre Dame because you were supposed to be in this ball game, and I'm going BYU. I'm just kidding. I don't know. It's a problem. I love Haynes King. Me and Josh both love Haynes King. He was A&M's quarterback our freshman year, and I love that he was able to find a spot that was right for him and turn his career around. Um, I don't know if he's playing. I feel like he probably would, just because I feel like Haynes King's that type of dude. I'm sure he'll feel indebted or however you want to call it to Georgia Tech for taking him in and uh, loving him with open arms. Um, if Haynes King's playing, maybe, but if not, I think it's all BYU. Bear Bachmeyer is only a freshman, so he is playing in this game. Sataki staying put. I'm sure they'll have a lot. You know what? I am going BYU. I don't care who they're playing. I'm sure they'll have a lot of pent up emotion and anger over the playoff situation because no one even has talked about BYU. It's been Notre Dame um, for the most part, and I feel like BYU is really the one that got snubbed. If you ask me, they dropped for losing their conference championship when Bama didn't, um, and so. Yeah, give me BYU. I feel like they'll be pissed off and ready to show the committee, hey, we were good enough to be in this field. The Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl. Give me Fresno State. Nothing more to say. I don't care about Miami of Ohio at all. The Isleta New Mexico Bowl. North Texas, San Diego State. I like North Texas. I know I always forget the coach's name. It's either Chad Morris or Eric Morris. Um, I don't know if he'll be coaching. He coached in the conference championship, but this is kind of a pointless bowl. So I wonder if he's moving on to Oklahoma State. Maker should still be there. I think he'll play because he's only a freshman, unless he just opts out and transfers immediately. Um, The portal will be open. That's the thing is the portal opens after Christmas. A lot of these bowls take place after Christmas. And so if Mistamaker's in the portal, it could be a different question. Still, give me the Texas team. I'm a big Texas guy. So all these picks could be completely wrong. This is all I'm treating this as if both teams are as healthy as they can be, with a few exceptions if it's already been made plain. Um, Tax Layer Gator Bowl. This used to mean a whole lot more than it does now. Virginia versus Missouri. I'm going Missouri. I'm an SEC guy. Virginia really screwed it all for America. So for that reason, I'm going Missouri. The Kinders Texas Bowl. Kinders. I don't know. LSU, Houston. Connor Wegman's at Houston. Nussmeyer's at LSU. I'm curious to see if Nussmeyer's playing. Kind of want to go Houston here, to be honest. This kind of the season that LSU had, it would make sense to drop a game to Houston in the ball game, especially if they don't care about it. Well, like Houston will care more. So yeah, I'm gonna go Houston. J Lab Birmingham Bowl. Let's look. Georgia Southern, App State. App State, the first 5-7 team that I've seen. Um, I love App State. I've always loved them. They're the upset school. I watched them beat A&M at Kyle Field my sophomore year. So I never count them out. I just think they're 5-7. I feel like they're only in a bowl game because some teams opted out. Give me Georgia Southern. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll be more than happy to be wrong there. Independence Bowl, which is what we were talking about. Coastal Carolina, Chanticleers versus Louisiana Tech. Oh, 87-13, Louisiana Tech. I'm going Coastal. I love everything about Coastal. I think they fired their head coach, or their head coach got poached, or I think they're without a head coach. Um, Law Tech, I actually do have some ties. My cousin used to work for Law Tech, so I spent some time out in Ruston back in the day, aka like a day or two. But yeah, I went to this place like called the Dog Pound or something in Ruston. Really cool spot. You know what? I'm gonna go Law Tech. Um, just because I have better ties. I did a Coastal Carolina dynasty on college football, but I didn't get very far in that one. So yeah, we're going Louisiana Tech. You got the Music City Bowl. This game also used to mean a lot. You have Tennessee versus Illinois. I think this will be one of the better games because I feel like these two teams they're similar. Obviously, SEC 8-4 is not the same as a Big Ten. I think they're in 8-4. Um, But Illinois at one point was like a top 10 team. So was, I mean, Tennessee. I don't know if they ever got into a top 10. They may have, but they were for sure a top 15, top 12 caliber team. And, things just, with everything that happened with Tennessee, I think, if you look at it from the start of the season, you'd be totally cool with 8-4, losing Nico Yamaliava in the spring window and then everything that's happened since. So, like I said, I'm an SEC guy, so I'm going Tennessee. I want to see Tennessee pull it out. Even though they're a big rival of Alabama, if they're not playing Alabama, I don't really care about Tennessee. They've never really been an issue until 2021 when they beat Bama, or 2022, whatever year they had Hendon Hooker. I'm pretty sure that was the quarterback, or Joe Milton, one of the two. Uh, Walk-off field goal, 58 or 52-49 or whatever the score was. So yeah, Tennessee. Alamo Bowl. This game also used to mean a whole lot. USC, TCU. Oh, Josh Hoover, TCU, 8-4. That's not too bad. Sonny Dykes is still, got, I don't know, 8-4 in the Big 12. Doesn't feel like the greatest. USC, I don't see how you go TCU here. They have Jaden Mayava. Um, Lincoln Riley's looking for his first 10-win season since Caleb Williams, that very first year that he won the Heisman. So I feel like they'll be maybe more motivated. I don't know. I do believe Lincoln Riley's a fraud. I think he works better as an OC like Cliff Kingsbury. I just think they're better is just like strictly focusing on calling offensive plays. And then if that's all they can do, if that's all they have to do, I feel like that's the best spot for him. I think it's the same thing for Brent Venables in Oklahoma. If he could just be a defensive coordinator, he'd be awesome. But I think he has a little bit more. I don't know. He just has something different that I feel like players just buy into a little bit more. And obviously, like I don't know these guys personally. I've never been in the locker room, so this is just some guy's opinion. But yeah, give me USC. ReliaQuest Bowl, Iowa, Vanderbilt. I'm going Vanderbilt. I want to see it. I have completely changed my mind about Diego Pavia now that like season's over. I'd be cool with him winning the Heisman. Look, here's why I changed my mind. No one had a good season. Mendoza did like the season's not incredible. It's not Heisman worthy any other year. Saying I feel like saying probably had a better season than Mendoza. I just don't know why everybody's like Mendoza's the guy because Indiana is like having this crazy run. I don't know. I see a lot of people saying it should be Jeremiah Love. Sure. Um, 1,300 yards, not the best. I know like people saying he was splitting carries, but Genty had 2,600 yards or he had 2,600 yards, something like that, and he couldn't even win the Heisman. So why is if Jeremiah Love wins the Heisman, we should retroactively go back and give Genty the Heisman too. I saw someone say where none of the candidates look good enough, so we should just go back and give Genty the Heisman for this year. And I think that's the move. But yeah, so I think Diego Pavia has the best case. I feel like he's been the most valuable person to the University of Vanderbilt ever. Um, so that's pretty Heisman worthy, if you ask me. Fernando Mendoza, you can make that case for him for Indiana, but I don't know, man. Like Indiana at least has been a solid team. Basketball is kind of their thing too. Vanderbilt has nothing. Vanderbilt has being smart. Like a lot of schools have that. You're in college, you kind of have to be smart, unless you go to Oklahoma. So yeah, give me Vanderbilt. All that being said, Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl. They're great. Um, Arizona State, Duke. Give me Duke. Just because Sam Levitt's in the portal. So Kenny Dillingham's still there, but I don't care. Duke won the ACC championship. They asked. If they win the ACC and then lose the bowl game, dude, relegation. That's what should happen, bro. If you make the ACC championship with 5 losses, 7-5, win it, and then proceed to drop a game to a quarterbackless, meaningless Arizona State game in El Paso. Yeah, El Paso. That's where the Sun Bowl is. You should be fired. So give me Duke. The Citrus Bowl, which I didn't realize was Cheez It. They used to have their own bowl game, and now they're sponsoring the Citrus Bowl. Bama's been playing this. Bama played last year. Michigan always plays in this, don't they? If they don't make the playoff, because we played them the year that it was Tua's final year. 'Cause I remember he sat out, and that's the first time we saw Mac Jones play for Alabama. Was in the Citrus Bowl against Michigan, and then last year I'm pretty sure we played them in the Citrus Bowl and we lost because we suck. Um, just give me Texas. Michigan just lost their head coach. I guess this is where I could have done the Sharon Moore thing. I just didn't want to forget. Um, so yeah, Sharon Moore's gone. Uh, they should still Bryce Underwood's only a freshman. She has no reason not to play unless he's going to hit the portal. So time will tell with that. But I'm just going to go with Texas. I think Arch Manning will be here for the game unless he hits the portal, which is so annoying to say, man. They've got to figure out this calendar. All these games, all these picks could be flip flopped, hinging on a player playing or not, which is ridiculous. You go to college to play football, unless you're going to the NFL for sure, you should be playing in this game. I don't care. I don't care. Um, Las Vegas Bowl, Nebraska, Utah, not even close. Nebraska, Raiola should be in the portal by then. Um, I can't believe Nebraska gave Matt Rule a contract extension because Penn State was eyeing him, and now he's gone 7-5, and he's going to lose. You know, one of the better players they've had join their team since I can remember. I don't even know who the last good Nebraska quarterback was. It could be someone obvious, and you're screaming at me, but yeah, I just think Utah is way better, and I think they'll move on. Okay, for the playoff games that are remaining, we have Miami or Texas A&M versus Ohio State. We picked Texas A&M to move on. If you want to know why, go watch the pod. And then Oregon versus Texas Tech. We picked Texas Tech to move on. Um, we have Alabama versus Indiana. We did pick Indiana to move on. And then Tulane versus Georgia. We got Georgia going. So back to the regular bowl games. We have the Armed Forces Bowl. Another 5-17 with Rice. And then Texas State with GJ Kinney. I like him. I like what they're doing over there. 6-6. They kind of came back to earth a little bit after like the last couple seasons. But I'm gonna go with Texas State just because Rice is 5-7. They didn't earn this. They're just here because they kind of had to be. The Liberty Bowl, Cincinnati Navy, Spencer Horvath. Isn't that his name? I hope it is. Or it's Blake. Blake or Spencer? Blake. Sorry. Blake Horvath, Heidenreich. Who's the running back? They have a really good running back too. It's not gonna show me, is it? Like their overall. I'm also worried about my computer crashing because my first take of this has happened. So yeah, we're gonna leave it be. They have a very good running back. Wing T offense, hard to stop, especially if you don't play it. Well, no one plays it all the time, especially if you haven't played it in a very long time. Definitely catches you by surprise. Duke's Mayo Bowl. We have 5-7 Mississippi State in here, taking on 8-4 Wake Forest. Don't care. Going Mississippi State. I know I just literally didn't pick a 5-7 team because they're 5-7, but this is the SEC, and I think a 5-7 in the SEC is an 8-4. No, I'm just kidding. It's like a 7-5 in the ACC. Yeah, Wake Forest is 8-4 in the ACC. I don't care. I don't care at all. You could be undefeated. You could be Florida State a couple years ago, 14-0. You got left out of the playoff. Why? You're missing your quarterback. ACC sucks, and this year they proved it. They proved how bad they suck this year. Give me Mississippi State. Holiday Bowl, Arizona, SMU. I'll. I don't know, man. Actually, I want to go to Arizona. Fafita, which I don't know if he'll be playing. I'm pretty sure this is his last year in college. Fafita has been very good in the season. They started off pretty bad, and then now they're 9-3. So yeah, I will go Arizona just for fun. Kevin Jennings. I'm wondering if he is um, going to play or if he has eligibility or what the situation is there. But wouldn't be shocked if SMU wins, but give me Arizona. Okay. I don't like how they did this. I don't know why I wouldn't just autofill my team, so I need to go back and look. Okay, so Sugar Bowl winner is Georgia. So we have Georgia versus um, Texas Tech. Was that what it was? Oh no, I'm sorry, guys. I am so sorry. Really rough in. Okay, so the Orange Bowl is Texas Tech. They're gonna play Indiana. We have Indiana moving on. Cotton Bowl versus Sugar Bowl. So that's Georgia and who is it? Can't believe I can't remember. A&M. 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 We have Georgia. We have Georgia winning that game. So the Sugar Bowl winner. Wait a second. There it is. Sorry. This is very okay. Then with the Natty, we have Georgia winning. Yep, we've got Georgia winning. As much as I hate it, as a Bama fan and all that. Um, what are you gonna do? I feel like they look the most dominant. Obviously, if you want to know our actual thoughts on it, check out the most recent episode. How many points will be scored in the college football playoff national championship game? We have Indiana versus Georgia. I think it will be more of a defensive game. I'm saying Georgia scored 28 against Bama, and it was enough. I'm going to say 24 to 17. So what is that? Add 10, 41 points. Give me 41 points. And there we go. That is my bowl game, Capital One Bowl Mania picks submitted. So thank you guys for watching. We hope you enjoyed this. If you want to see more content like this, let us know. If you want shorter content, let us know. Our last podcast was far shorter than we've been doing. So Let us know if you like that. And then, like I said, if you want me to watch this game and make a series, or watch all of these games and make a video series about them, let me know. All it takes is one. I just need to know someone cares, and I'll do it. So yeah, like I said, thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment. And we hope this Capital One Bowl Mania picks were sufficient.